AITA for evicting my brother-in-law after he made a false claim about me to Child Protective Services. A few days ago, I, 26M, didn't wash my cooking dishes because I've been the main person doing them for well over a few months now. My brother-in-law, 24M, wanted to cook and threw a tantrum because none of the pots and pans were washed. Mind you, they weren't even that bad. They could easily be scrubbed and washed. He slammed the pots and pans around before yelling incoherently and slamming his room door closed, making my newborn son and his siblings 2F and 4M cry and get scared. I went outside to see what the commotion was, and my Bill was arguing with my older Bill, 32M. Anyway, I talked to my older Bill, and he told me that my younger Bill was just hungry and irritated that he couldn't cook. The problem is that he doesn't even buy groceries. My wife, 26F, buys all of them, and he doesn't replace them. I told my older Bill that he was overreacting and that my younger Bill could get off his lazy ass and do something aside from sitting on his computer all day. My older Bill then did some of the dishes, and the day went on without incident. The next day, I was cleaning up my room and taking some trash out to the kitchen trash when I overheard my younger Bill mentioning my name and my kids' names over a call. I thought nothing of it, but I told my wife, and she suggested I confront him. I took more trash out, and he was on speakerphone with someone. They said they would do a wellness check on us. I patiently waited for him to finish the call, tapped on his door, and politely asked him why he was mentioning my family and me over the phone. He said it was none of my business and told me not to worry about it. I called the cops on the non-emergency service, and they said he didn't call. My wife and I both called CPS. They said there was nothing on my wife's end and that they would call me back within 24 to 72 hours. We were pissed. She called up my father-in-law, FIL, and he was seething as well. Before my younger BIL made that call, he was asking my older BIL if he should, and my older BIL said no because my younger BIL thought that my wife threw something at my oldest, but it was just my oldest playing in his room and throwing his toys at the wall. He said whatever and called CPS anyway, angering my older BIL and making him leave. I was there when he made that call, but I thought I was being paranoid. For context, my wife and I absolutely adore our kids, though. As they're toddlers and my oldest is a troublemaker, we do have to discipline him from time to time. We talked with CPS, the local PD, WIC, and a slew of other companies, and they told us disciplining is fine as long as we don't leave visible marks and bruises, which we don't. Our daughter fell off a futon last week and gave herself a shiner. We took her to the clinic, and the doctor said she was fine and that our oldest didn't punch her in the eye. Anyways, back to the events that unfolded. My FIL has been trying to evict my BIL since last month and even gave him a notice to vacate, which he blatantly ignored and yelled at him about. I went to the courthouse and retrieved the eviction paperwork, as my FIL is busy taking care of his mother, who is currently fighting her second round of cancer, and he can't take her there as it's extremely taxing since he's almost 60. I helped him file the paperwork and got the court date set. Now, here's where I planned a little something to help ensure my BIL got his eviction notice. I texted my FIL to ask if it was okay to get his ex-wife, my MIL, to serve him since we couldn't afford the sheriff to serve him. I called my wife and told her the plan, and she's all for it because my MIL said that my BL wasn't in the wrong. He's worried about the kids and thinks that we need a break. Can't handle our kids and basically deflected all of the blame onto my wife, downplaying and gaslighting her. However, he's always in his room, never offers to help with any of the kids, and does nothing all day. Now, I'm not saying that I need someone to watch my kids. I'm just saying calling CPS shouldn't be your first resort. We call up my MIL, and she's absolutely livid, asking why we can't deliver it. We say that we can't since we live with him and are considered part of the household. The sheriff said that neither I nor anyone in the household could do it. It had to be a third party. We drop it off at her door, and she blows my fill up, starting to talk poorly about my wife, saying that she's mentally unstable, irresponsible, etc. My wife calls her up, and my ML, of course, denies everything and calls my wife an AH. I'm dying of laughter because only a handful of people know that I'm actually the one who started the eviction process. My wife also reported him to SNAP for sharing his EBT with my MIL, as well as reporting him to YC, family abuse, CPS, and another company for false claims. We've been living together for 6 months and have been on good terms until now. So AITA for evicting my brother-in-law after he made a false claim about me to Child Protective Services?